Welcome. Today, this video we're going to do the second part of our subnetting example. The first one we did was finding the networks. So what we do is we found all of our network addresses. You remember they're .0, .64, .128, and .192. Now we need to find out where those networks end. I want to find out my broadcast addresses. I need to know my network addresses, broadcast addresses, because as you know, you will never assign, ever assign network address or broadcast address to any device. They cannot use this. You'll lose points on the exam. If it's on my homework, I'll make it really ridicule because I've said it like 12 times in the video, right? All right, so what I want to do now is I want to find my broadcast addresses. What are the end of those addresses? So just as a quick review, KISS method, what did I know? I'm using the 200.150.0, original class full, class C address because of that first octet in that range. That originally I had 254 usable addresses, 256, 2 to the 8th because of that last octet was host. Can't use broadcast, can't use network, so I had 254. Someone came and said, you know what, I don't want 254 networks in the same, 254 usable hosts in the same network. That's just too many. Break it into 3 networks, at least 3. First floor, second floor, third floor is my example. So I use the equation 2 to the n networks. 2 to the n had to be greater than or equal to my requirement 3. 2 squared was 4, n equal 2. I calculate H by finding my original slash number because I wrote down what do I know, class C, 255, 255, 255, underline that, slash 24, plus what I just calculated for N, I'm going fast because it's a review, plus H was 6, 32 and a 32-bit IP version 4 address. All right, so now we're going to go very similar to what we did with our network and find broadcast. So if you look on your sheet where I did the notes, what do I do for broadcast? I take my N options, so where are my N's? Make sure they're unique, 0, 0. Always start with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. I've got it taken care of. All right. Now, the next thing in broadcast is just the opposite of finding networks. Networks had nothing to do with hosts. Broadcast is the address in the network that we talk to all of our end devices. Our end devices will all hear my broadcast address, so I need to know what that broadcast address is. That's why I don't assign it to any device. Well, if I'm talking to all my hosts, N options, and make your H's equal to 1, because that's what I'm doing. I'm talking to all my hosts. I'm only using this as a mnemonic to hopefully help you remember. If you just memorize networks, I make H's 0, and broadcast, I make H's 1s. I'm happy. I'm just trying to make sure you have something to remember because I get nervous on the certification exam too, and I've taken a bunch of time. So, all right, so we have this, and now just like we did with our networks, I now need to find what my broadcast address is by simply converting from binary to decimal. And again, that's why I underline. When I find my broadcast addresses, I can't go wrong. So 0, 1, I can't go wrong. I shouldn't say that. I can't go wrong by these first 3 because I've underlined them. I know all of them are going to be 200, 150. I'm trying not to talk while I write because I'd probably mess up. And 200.100.50. That's something because it's in the 4th octet. All right, so let's convert to binary. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, whole. Now here's where you got to think, I'm going to take my shooting socks off to do the math, right? No, well, the way it works is you have 1 in the 32 place, so you'd add 1 plus 16, sorry, you'd add 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. Oh, Scott, you promised me you'd give me a couple little hints, little helpers here. All right, here's a little trick with decimal. Oh, yeah, here's a little trick with binary. When you go, all H's are all 1s from where they start, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. As long as there's no break in there, like there is on this third one, it is always, that number in decimal will be 1 less than the next placeholder. So if you add up 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1, I guarantee you're going to come up with 63 if you did it right. All right, so 1 less than the next placeholder. All right, so that would be .63. There's my first broadcast address. If you remember, our network address from the last video was 200.150.0. That broadcast for that same network would be 200.150.63. Let's do the next one. Summarizing again, I'd have to take 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, it's all 1s. 1 less than the next placeholder. 1 less than 128. 127. See? Keep it simple, Scott, right? All right, but what about this one? Well, it's 128 plus 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. The only way that's quicker than this, other than doing that, is know that if I have, only when there's 1, 0. If I have all 1s and 1, 0, I know all 1s is 255. So you can take 255 minus 64. Right? That should come up with your next broadcast address, 1, 91. And then I'll do the easy one. All ones is 255. So there are my 4 broadcasts. So once you get this method down, you can see, hey, it is pretty simple. It's not too tricky. As long as I know how to get my N and H, I've got a couple different ways of looking at that. I know my N options, I write them down. N's are always first. H's, hosts are always last. When I do my network address as a review, I make those zeros, because that had nothing to do with host bits. When I'm doing my broadcast, I'm talking to all my hosts, so I take all the H's and I make them 1, and then I just convert from binary into decimal. So really straightforward. These 2 addresses that we just calculated in this video and the last video, the 4 altogether, the network and broadcast, are the ones you will never assign. I'm saying that a bunch of times. That's like a big error I see students make all the time. It's really easy to assign the wrong one, and then all of a sudden you lose points. You're like, oh, I did the subnetting right, and then I assigned the wrong one to it, and I got it wrong. It's like disappointing. Just a review. I don't think there's anything else new here. Hopefully this has helped you find the broadcast. What we're going to do in the next video, so make sure you see at least all 3. We're going to do the network, this is the broadcast. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to come up with our new subnet mask to make all of this work. Oh yeah, one last thing there. I knew there was one more thing I wanted to tell you. Remember on the network addresses, they're all even? I guarantee if you do it right, all the broadcast addresses will be odd. They will all always broadcast odd. Why? Because I make the H bits 1s. The last bit has to be a 1. That's the only way I can make something odd. Well, host is going to be odd. So you know your broadcasts are always going to be odd. So if you go on the math real funny and you write 192 here, you're like, ooh, it's odd. That's not odd, it's even. I got to change that. What's my math? Oh yeah. And then at that point, maybe you want to write down 128, 32, 16, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1 and add it up. Oh yeah, 191 or 255 minus the 64 because we don't have it there. Again, remember the binary. If you have them all in a row, it equals in decimal 1 less than the next decimal placeholder, which is 63, 127. All right, so hopefully that's helped. Next one I want to make sure you watch is the how to find the subnet mask to put all this together. Okay, thanks.